dragging all this stuff here over to the right so that we made room to make our logo come in from off screen, because it would be kind of weird for it to just start like right here with that thing like right in your face. So what I can do is come over here. I'll copy the contents of this frame on here. So hold down the Option key and do a drag over there like that. And then I could move this off stage. Now this isn't the only option. You could make this fade in as well. Maybe I want it to, as it moves from here to here, maybe do some kind of scale change, either bigger, smaller. So let's go ahead and just change the scale of it a little bit. The sky's the limit as far as what you want to do here. Let's scoot this down a little bit. Okay, let's test the video right now. Yeah, it's a little quick. I think like right in here there's some interesting stuff starting to happen, and then it goes by a little bit too quickly. So definitely about this second set of things in, we need to let this just kind of maybe stay in place or move around in here when these things are going around each other. So let's, and nothing is written in stone on here. So we can move anything around. We can grab keyframes, move them around. We can make room. So what I'm thinking is right in here, let's extend this out before it gets smaller. So I'm going to grab this whole section and scoot it down. Now since there's a tween in there, it's just going to stretch that tween out, make it last longer. But what I can do at any time I feel like it, I can come in here and place another one. And I'm not insinuating that you have to do everything in 25 frame increments, just doing that for the heck of it. So that's what happens there. And I could actually make this thing get bigger before it gets smaller. Again, I'm holding down the Shift key with that. And so I don't want to spend all day showing you how I'm going to make mine look better, but basically you just take and you try it out, see what it looks like. So I'll pause the movie for a second and I can just kind of come back and tell you what I did. But let me tell you this. So in addition to the rotating counterclockwise and so on, we can also play with the ease in and the ease out, and probably when you're going from a clockwise to a counterclockwise, that would be a good time to do that type of thing, so it feels a little more natural, like it slows down a little bit and then accelerates on the other end. Okay, so let me let you in on some of the stuff I did here and show you what I am and am not happy with. So I extended the first couple of frames a long way. So if we go back into edit mode here for the symbol, you can see I'm up to 250 frames already, and all I did was I extended the distance between the first two keyframes a long way, and the same with the second two. I also put a ease in. I kind of traded off between, you go up here, you can see I did an ease out, then a ease in. I put, instead of just one time around on this one, I put 3 times around, so it looks like it speeds up in here, and especially since it goes such a long distance, if we're only to go one time around, it might be a little bit too slow. So so I really like the way it eases in and eases out. I like the way it goes a little bit slower at the beginning, speeds up later. Like, I really like that little kind of jittery effect there. What I don't like is I start to see a bunch of stars in the middle. Like, before my eyes I see these stars flashing, and then in the final logo there is none of that. Let me just point them out to you. Like right there, I saw it right there, right there, right there. So hopefully it's tracking fast enough that you could see those with me. So now what I can do is go back into the main timeline, and since I did this as an animated symbol as opposed to a movie clip, I can drag the timeline and I can figure out where those things occur, and then all I need to do is go into the movie and move them. So like there was one right there. Okay, so that's the kind of stuff that I don't really want to see. So what I can do is either move everything in a lot closer together or move them further apart. So like right here, it seems like one of these happens at about frame 150. Well, let's click on it and find out exactly what frame that is. That is 156 and 57 in there. Okay, so then we just go into the double click here, bring us into edit mode, go to the same frame, 156 right in here, and so we can either adjust it here or we can come all the way out here and just move things out a little bit. Now if that doesn't work, I'll go in and I'll move them. So I'll make adjustments to all those, no sense you watching that. Alright, so I think I've got this thing where it's pretty decent for, at least for demo purposes. So what I ended up doing in a lot of cases, alright, what I was saying was when you get to a place where it was going bad, like let's say it was like here, you notice it was going bad. What you can do is notice that there's no keyframe here. If I move this piece now, it automatically inserts a keyframe for me there. So that's why you'll see I have a lot more keyframes that have shown up. I don't want that to happen, so I'm going to Command Z a couple times to get rid of that. So here's what I have right now. Hopefully nothing seems distracting in there. And I kind of like the ease in, ease out. So, and again, this may not track exactly, so you won't see what I have exactly. But when it comes together at the end, now what I want to do is make the whole entire logo spin around. So it comes together right there. I want the logo to spin around. And I'm going to make that entire logo spin around on the main timeline. So that logo comes together at frame 250 here. So I created a new called full logo. On that, I am going to go right to that frame, do an F7, then frame 1 where I made my backup copy of my logo, and I will turn off the eyeballs and everything else so that I can make sure that that's what I'm dealing with here. So I drag a selection around that. That's what I have copied there. So I'm going to go edit, copy, or I mean that's what I have selected. Then we're going to go all the way out here, and then let's lock everything else so that that can't get in our way. And we're going to do an edit, paste in place, and then we're going to convert that to a symbol by doing an F8. I'm going to name it full logo, click OK, and as soon as this converts over, I now have that entire logo right here. Just need to figure out how long I want that to happen. Go over here, do an F6, insert my classic tween, and put a rotation and maybe put a little bit of ease in or ease out on that. So we should have the whole entire logo come together, and as soon as it does, it's going to spin around one time. It looks like it moved on me. Let me investigate that. Yeah, it does indeed move a little bit, and I think what it is the center point of that symbol was not right on the exact center point. So what I'm going to do is undo these last couple steps and then go back to this frame and move the center point of that symbol to the exact center that I made on stage here. So if I click on this instance now, do a super zoom in, yeah, that's what it was. Grab this tool right here, move that right at that point. And this is a pretty common thing that occurs with logos that aren't, perfectly symmetrical, like 4 or 8 times around. Okay, I zoomed in even more on there, placed that point, and then now I'll just repeat the same. Okay, that's working just fine right now. I previewed it and thought it would happen a little bit too fast, so I'll just hit F5 a few times here to stretch that out. So let's say that I'm happy with this animation the way that it is right now. Now I need to take care of a few other things. One of them, I haven't adjusted the background color yet. We'll take care of that, and then we also need to do the fade ins, fades outs, and the buttons. So let's start with the text coming in now. So if we go back here, We can steal our text, which remember earlier on we changed that text so that it was outlines, or we broke it apart. So if I grab this right here, we'll do an edit, copy, and then over here about what text needs to start showing up, we will create a new layer for it. Okay, so I have my new layer and did a F7. Then we're going to go ahead and do a edit, paste in place. Now we obviously don't want that to just show up really quick like that, so we'll do a fade in with this. And I would suggest that you do something simple like a fade in, because the main animation is about the logo. So you want to have with the logo, and then all of a sudden the text part of the logo presents itself. So I'm going to create yet another layer, and I'm going to call that blocker, and then we're going to make a device to cover up the logo. And I meant to say to cover up the text. So this would be a good point for us to get our background color in here. So if we go back to the Illustrator file, okay, so in Illustrator, this is the color that I need. So I'm going to go up to the swatches, and I need to get the CMYK build for this. So mine went back to, I'm sorry, the RGB build for it. It went back to CMYK. So I'm switching this over to RGB by just using this little drop-down menu. And I'm going to write down that this build is 61, 43, 21. Okay, so with that information, we're going to go into Illustrator, or I'm sorry, back into Flash, and then we're going to click on our stage, and then we'll click on this little icon here, and that'll open up a little submenu. And then if we go to these little slider bar options here, if you're not seeing exactly what I'm seeing, you might have to adjust here, but you're going after the RGB sliders, and then you just want to type in these numbers. So 61, tab 43, tab 21. And click OK, and so now the background color has changed to that color. Now what we need to do is make, like I was saying, something to cover up to give us that fade in, fade out effect. Now there's two ways you could achieve that. One is you could take this entire 3 pieces of text here and turn those into a symbol and fade them in and fade them out. But I kind of planned ahead via mental storyboarding, and I know I need to fade the whole thing out at one point. So it seems like it's more memory effective for me to just make one device to block things out, and I can use it again. So right here, I'm going to click on this layer, do a F7, grab the rectangle making tool, and I'm just going to make a box about that size, and I need to click on this guy. Hold on, I'm going to back up a step because I ended up getting a stroke and a fill on there. Okay, let's get rid of the stroke on there, and then I just want a fill color that is the same as the background. So if I move the mouse over the background, click on it, there we go, much more efficient way of working here. Okay, then we're going to select that piece, and we're just going to simply create a graphic symbol of it, and I will call it blocker, or you can call it fade in, fade out, whatever you like. And then all we need to do is make that go from full opacity or full alpha to 0 opacity so that we can see what's behind it. So I'm just going to take a guess at how long that should be. Going to do an F6 here and do my classic tween and go to this last frame, click here, and I'm going to go to color effect and change its alpha down to 0. Then I just need to extend this via F5, and that's what we have is change the order so that the blocker is on top, and there we go. That'll allow the text to fade in. And of course I need to do an extension on the full logo as well via